Hey everyone, Crystal Bell, the eating actress, here with another health and wellness tip. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to be consistent in the gym. So this is a question I get all the time. Everyone's always asking me, well, I want to go to the gym and I'll do it. I'll go even for a whole week, or I'll go for a whole 2 weeks straight. And then after, I just feel so sore and so burned out and I just need a break. So I'll take a rest day or I'll take a cheat day. And then I just fall off and I can't keep going. So what are your tips and how do you stay consistent? Well, let me tell you, I have the best tips for you. Actually, I can tell you how to stay consistent in just 3 easy steps. So go ahead, grab your tablet, grab your notebook, your phone, whatever it is you use to take notes, because you're gonna wanna write these 3 down, because there's activities that you should do after I say each tip. So definitely make sure you have something to write with. Okay, so tip number 1, I always say, shout out to my drink. It's my protein shake. I always use COS protein powder. It's a vegan protein powder. And if you use my code, STACKS15, you can save. So if you want to get a protein powder, you want to try out some of their other supplements and amazing products, go ahead and try out COS. Shameless plug. Now jumping back into the video. If you want to be more consistent at the gym, step number 1 is to really get focused and clear on what your goal is. Oftentimes, when people go into the gym, they have like such a broad goal. They're like, I want to lose weight. Okay. Like, what does that even mean? You know, like, to lose weight. 1, how much weight? When do you want to lose it by? Like, are you trying to, like, is there a deadline to this? Is there a reason? Like, why are you trying to lose this much weight? Is this even realistic amount of weight? You know, like, you're telling me I want to lose 200 pounds. Okay, you can definitely lose 200 pounds, but I would say, like, you're not going to lose it in a month. You're not going to lose it in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Think about however long it took your body to get to where you are now. It's going to take that long at minimum to go backwards or to change into something completely different. Our bodies aren't built overnight, so your progress also won't be built overnight. And when you're talking about progress, you need to find a measurable way to measure your progress. So I know a lot of the time we don't take notes on where we are because we're like, I'll write it down, or I'll care when I get to wherever I get to. But as the days go on, it seems daunting, and then you like look at the scale and you sort of forget, were you 121 pounds or were you 122? Or were you like lifting 10 pounds or were you lifting 12.5? And as you do it more often as the days go by, those little differences, as big as they are now, they do blend, and then you start to forget where you were, and then it gets frustrating because then you're not seeing progress. Even though you've had so much progress and so much change happen, you weren't documenting it. And so therefore it just feels like you're stagnant. You just look at yourself and you feel like your body looks the exact same. And it's because you weren't clear on your goals. So you didn't even know what you're working for. You're just like doing things, and it's hard to measure if you're doing anything at all because you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. So step number 1, I really encourage everybody to create a SMART goal. So I've made videos on this before, but just very quickly, a SMART goal is an acronym. So it stands for S as specific, M measurable, A attainable, R relevant, and T for time. So when you're making a SMART goal, you're very specific. You're not going to say, I want to lose weight. You're going to say, I want to lose 10 pounds, because that's very specific. How much weight is it that you want to lose? Well, I want to lose 10 pounds. And then measurable. Okay, well, what are we measuring? Your weight. So you can use a scale to track that. A, is it attainable? Yes, losing 10 pounds is definitely doable. It's something that is realistic, that can happen. And then relative, so what are you going to do in order to lose those 10 pounds? So you could say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds by going to the gym consistently for 30 minutes, Monday through Friday. And then T, time, for the next 2.5 months, for the next 3 months. I'm going to spend 30 minutes in the gym Monday through Friday to lose 10 pounds. So you covered all the acronyms of SMART for SMART. You know exactly what you're doing. You're losing weight, but more specifically, you're losing 10 pounds, and you're losing it in the next 2.5 months, which is the timed you can register that. You can put it in a calendar and say, if I start today, then 2.5 months from today, this is where I step on the scale again and see, did I lose those 10 pounds? And then every day you can check in with yourself to say, hey, today's Monday, did I do my 30 minutes? You know what I'm saying? So that way you're constantly interacting with your goal, and then you can start to see more progress because you're constantly showing up, you're constantly checking in, and you have a way to check in that's not just like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So, more smoothie. So while you create your SMART goal, we're going to move on to step number 2. So step number 2, it has to be a personal thing. It has to be your reasoning. It has to be your why. So you have to think about, why is it, we'll just stay with the example that I used earlier. Why is it that you want to lose weight? Why do you want to lose just 10 pounds? What does this mean for you? What does this mean in your life? Oftentimes, if somebody has a very clear goal, the reason why they stop being consistent is because they're not aligned with their why. So when I say you're not aligned with your why, I mean that the reason why you're going to the gym, the reasoning for that, the why, the fuel that's going to push you on the days when you don't want to do it, it's not strong enough. Your why is not strong enough. A lot of the time is because our why is, well, so-and-so looks like that, or I heard Beyonce drinks this, or whatever. So you're trying to do something, you're trying to live vicariously through somebody else's life. You're trying to apply somebody else's fitness, wellness, and health goals to your own life. And their reasoning for doing it is totally different than your reasoning. Sorry, my phone battery died. I don't know what's going on with that. So their reasoning for doing it is completely different for your reasoning, which is why they're able to stay consistent, because their why is something that's internally fused inside of their heart so strongly. So when they don't feel like doing it and they're not motivated, they can remember, I'm doing this because of X. So for me, I like to stay consistent in the gym because I have dogs and I want to be able to pick them up, go on walks with them, play with them. I want to be able to have energy and stamina to do that. In order to do that, I need to stay healthy. So on days when I don't want to do it, I just think like, would I be upset if one day I wasn't able to walk my dogs? Yes. And would I be upset if I wasn't able to pick them up or play with them? Yes. So then I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and go, because the reason why I'm going is for a bigger reason. Also, personally, I'm training for the zombie apocalypse. And what would I feel if tomorrow the apocalypse started? Would I feel ready? I would be like, oh my God, I should have been going to the gym, because if I would have been working out, I would have been ready for the zombie apocalypse, and then none of this would have happened. You see what I'm saying? So you have to find a why that stems you. You have to figure out what it is that is your why. So if you're like, well, I want to look good on Instagram. How bad do you want to look on Instagram? That's the problem, because you're saying, well, my why is because I want to look good. I want to look good in my swimsuit. And that's why everybody says that. Everybody says that, and that's why they all go to the gym January 1, because this summer is going to be different. But the truth of the matter is, everybody, the way your body is a swimsuit body. All you have to do is put the swimsuit on. So that's why that why is not strong enough, because it's sort of a blank statement. Going back to step number 1, it's not a real SMART goal. It's not really like, oh, I just want to look good. Okay, but what does look good mean? What does looking good mean? I just want to look like the Instagram models. Okay, but trends change all the time. One day hip dips are in, the next day they're not. The other day big butts are in, then they're not. Big lips are in, and then they're not. So like you trying to, once again, live somebody else's life, it's not going to work. You have to think about, why do you want this? And then you have to be real life with yourself. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Because if you like think about it and you're like, if I have to do this every single day, and you're like, I don't really want it that bad, then maybe you need to change your goal. Maybe you need to change your mindset around it. Maybe you need to think about a different why while you're doing this. So for me, I always think about things that are more tangible. Like, is there somebody in my life that I care about that they do something that I would also like to do with them? Is there something that I have to do in my job that I feel like if I had a certain amount of strength or a certain amount of endurance or stamina, would that benefit me? So I try to think about, how will my goal relate to my life in the whole picture, And then where does that goal touch in my heart? Where do I feel connected to this goal and feel like I actually definitely 100% really genuinely want to do this? I definitely am going to push through on those days that I don't want to do it, because my why is so strong. My reasoning for wanting this is so strong that will be the thing that stimulates me to do it and stay consistent even when I personally don't want to. So once again, get very serious with your why. And I don't mean just be like, oh, well, I want to look good. Write that first sentence down. I want to look good. And then be like, why? Why do you want to look good? Well, I want to look good because I don't like the way that I look when I'm at the beach. Why don't you like the way that you look at the beach? Well, because I feel like other people are looking at me. Why do you feel like that? Well, because one time somebody said X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? So really dig deep into your why. Ask yourself maybe 5 times per reason. And then if you feel like you're at a stump, or you're like, oh, maybe that's not a real good why, then start the process again. And then if at the end of the 5 times that you ask why, you're like, oh, actually, no, like, I really do want this, and these are my whys, and this is very a strong, serious moment in my heart, then you can be like, okay, that is a real good reason. That is my real why, and it's connected to my SMART goals, and so that's going to be how I stay consistent and how I get up on it. Next, shake break, and then step number 3. Hold up. Okay, shake break. So step number 3, you got to take it one day at a time. So a lot of the time when I have clients and they're being very consistent, and then they have a relapse where they just like stop coming in, or all of a sudden they're being late, or they're not giving as much energy, I always check in. What's going on? So a lot of the time we get ahead of ourselves. We get so ahead of ourselves that we're not in our present moment, and it just gets overwhelming because you're like, I want to lose weight. I want to lose 10 pounds, but I know that's going to take 2.5 months, and 2.5 months, that's like over 60 days, and like 60 days is such a long time, and I just feel like that, like I'm already struggling to go to the gym now, so trying to commit to something for 60 days, that just seems unrealistic. And like, what if I don't lose the weight, and you just start spiraling, you just start going on that. In reality, you need to take a second, take a pause, time out, deep inhale, pause at the top, and exhale, woosah, baby, woosah, and take a second and say, you know what? I can't control the future, and I cannot change the past. All I can do is be present in this very moment and take today for today. So instead of worrying about how long it's going to take, or worrying about the end goal and counting the days, make the days count. Make the days count. So instead of saying like, oh my God, I got a 60-day program, it's going to take forever, the 60 days never going to come, I can't believe it's why don't you take a second and say like, well, I do understand I'm in a 60-day program, and this is a lot, and like I do struggle with consistency. So instead, I'm just going to show up today and make my best effort today, and we'll worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes. But today, the only thing that I can do today is go do my workout today, and then let today count as day 1 towards 1 of 60. And then tomorrow, I'll tackle tomorrow when tomorrow comes. But if I try to tackle today, tomorrow, and all 60 days in one day, it does get overwhelming. It does get daunting, because then you're like, I can't get all 60 days in one day. How come I can't fully finish all the things that I want to do? And it's because you're trying to live too far into the future, and you're trying to do too many things in one day. Remember, you can't train every single body part every single day. You can't. Overtraining is not going to make it happen faster. So if you come in and you tell me like, well, what if I just lift 50 pounds today? You're lifting 50 pounds with bad form today. You're going to prolong that 60 days longer, because then you're going to get an injury. And then that injury is going to make you have to rest. And that rest is going to take up time. And then you're going to fall back off. And then you're going to be like, well, see, this is why I don't go to the gym, because I get hurt. And it's like, no, you got hurt because you're trying to rush the process instead of taking the steps and allowing the days to come as they come. Because the day is going to come. The end of the year will happen. And we always say, oh my God, time flew. Time flies when you're not focused on every individual day trying to say like, well, I need this today and that tomorrow and that. Just show up today, do your one workout today, and let today count. And just be okay with where you are today, because then tomorrow is day 2. And then before you know it, you'll be at the end of the week and you're like, wow, I did 7 full days. And then before you know it, you'll be like, oh wow, we're half month, and then a month, and then the 2 months come and you're like, oh wow, I did the 60 days. That wasn't so bad, because you weren't worried about the end goal. You were more concerned about the journey and showing up every step of the way in the process. So those are the 3 ways that you can stay consistent in the gym. I swear I do this all the time. Number 1, I always get very clear on what it is that I'm working towards in my goal. And then I stick to that goal. Don't in the middle switch the deadline or timeline. Like I said, you cannot rush this. So 1, always keep my goal. Number 2, when my goal is not fueling me enough and I still need an extra push, I remember, why did I create that goal in the first place? What is the reason for me to do all of this? What is it that I'm working towards? And then the last one, I just be like, I can't live in the future, can't change the past. I can only be here today in this very moment. I can only do what I can do today. So I just let today be great, put in 100% today, and let that count. Let the day count instead of counting each day. So with that being said, I hope these 3 tips help you all to be more consistent. Go ahead and try the activities. Create your own SMART goal. Do your why activity. Break it down. And then go out there and do it. Go to the gym today. It's Saturday. I get it. A lot of people don't like to go to the gym on Saturday. But let me tell you, it's a great time to start. It's a great time to start. You don't really want to wait till Monday, because you always say you're going to wait till Monday. And then what happens? Monday comes and you have a reason why you don't do it. So what was the step number 3? Make today count. Don't count the days. So go in there, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. You was gonna watch Netflix anyway. You can watch Netflix on the treadmill. You can watch Netflix at the gym. There's TVs in the gym. So just go in the gym. Don't make an excuse. Get in a workout today and let today be your day 1. And you can do it, because I believe in you. And if you need any more help, you can always ask me. I have so many programs and different services available. So definitely send me a message or comment down below. Also, this coming Saturday on July, I believe it's 16th. Yes, the 16th, I will be holding a ABC Fitness, which is going to work over abs, booty, and core. You see how I did that? ABC, arms, booty, core. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to have an ABC Fitness program going on this Saturday. You can check it out on my Instagram at Crystal V. Bale. I'll put it down right here. And yeah, you can also sign up in the link in the bio from my Instagram page. So I would definitely say go check that out while there's spaces available, because I'm only holding this as a limited time offer. It is only $20 to train with me and all my different services. And we're going to go over arms, core, and booty. So if you really want to get in a nice total body workout and you don't want to wait till Mondays, you can meet me next Saturday, and we're gonna go over a Zoom workout for 30 minutes. So I have a whole bunch of different options for you all. I have so many tips, and I just really want you all to hit your goal, because I don't want you to feel stuck or trapped. You can do it. You definitely can do it. Don't stress it. And until next video, I love you.